It is Tuesday, July 7th, 2020, and you are tuned into DIRTRACKR Daily. I'm Justin Fiedler. A couple of news items to get to today, plus some races to talk about from last night. We'll get you caught up on all of the things that have happened at Knoxville this year, and then we'll recommend some podcast episodes from some of your favorite dirt racing shows. First up, though, the All-Star Circuit of Champions were again in action last night for Night 4 of Ohio Sprint Speedweek. With Pennsylvania Speedweek now in the books, there were several additions to the field last night, including Kyle Larson and Rico Abreu. I texted Blake Anderson with the All-Stars to see if Larson somehow was able to win out, if he would win the Ohio Sprint Speedweek championship, but he said with the way the math works out with the points that he would probably not be able to run Reitzel down. So just something to note there as we get rolling here again with Ohio Sprint Speedweek. After going third quick in qualifying, though, Larson had issues in his heat race right at the start. Buddy Kofoid ended up going over in turn 2, and while trying to avoid him, Larson ended up making contact with another car and damaging his front end. He and Kofoid would end up not finishing the heat and were forced to start the B main. The two finished 1-2 in the B and transferred to the night's feature. At the start of the feature, it was Zeb Wise and Kel Conley on the front row, with Conley jumping to the early lead. Conley was very strong out front and wasn't really challenged until late in the going. While working lap traffic, Cap Henry was able to run him down, and coming to 3 laps to go, Henry slipped by on the bottom out of turn 4. Over the final laps, Henry was good enough to keep Conley at bay and win his second feature of Ohio Sprint Speedweek so far. Conley finished second, Rico Abreu was third, Jack Hodenshield fourth, and Justin Peck finished fifth. Kyle Larson started 21st and drove all the way up to 6th to grab the night's Hard Charger award. With 4 nights in the books, Aaron Reitzel leads the Speedweek standings by 14 points over Cale Conley. Buddy Kofoid is third, Paul McMahon fourth, and Cap Henry is fifth. Ohio Sprint Speedweek is off tonight, but we'll be back racing tomorrow night at Brush Creek Motorsports Complex. You can watch all of the action live on Flow Racing. I saw a lot of kind of complaints and some comments and things about the way the racetrack was last night and how dusty it got. And I certainly know that that's not something any racetrack wants or any race fan wants. So, I understand the complaints and I get that part of it, but I always wonder why, we get to some of these racetracks and we're surprised by some of the things that go on. It's like some of the things that have been going on for years, and then when they happen, we're like, oh my God, I can't believe this is happening. So those comments and kind of the outrage about this always kind of makes me giggle a little bit. And I think it's funny too that with, we're kind of in the situations we're in and the world is the way it is right now with, a lot of people stuck at home and all these types of things. But I do love that we are finding racing things to complain about, because it's nice to see racing complaints and not complaints about other things right now. It's nice to have that distraction. So good to see that, but I wish there was a little bit less complaining, I have to be honest. Seeing as these Ohio races are full All-Star points as well, we should probably take a look quick at the All-Star season points. Through 16 points paying races so far this season, Aaron Reitzel continues to lead the standings. He's got a 128 point lead right now over Corey Eliason. Paul McMahon is third, Zeb Wise is fourth, and Greg Wilson is fifth. I want to do some more statistical breakdown stuff of the All-Star season up to this point, but I do need to get the remainder of the 2020 races in the database, which I have not had a chance to do yet. Last night's Ohio Sprint Speedweek show is in there. I added that this morning, but anything older I don't have in yet, but I will be adding those hopefully today and tomorrow. So we will certainly be talking about more of that as we go forward. Jumping into some news, it has been rumored since his departure from Scott Bloomquist Racing, but we found out definitively where Chris Madden will be racing in the near future yesterday. It was announced he will join forces with Tyler Millwood and run as a team car during the 12-race Southern National Series starting July 10th. Madden will be in a rocket chassis with Dryden on the hood of his 44 machine. Madden is the winningest driver with the Southern Nationals Tour and has multiple series championships. He'll definitely be one to watch over the next 2 weeks. You can watch every night of the Southern Nationals live on Dirt on Dirt and Flow Racing. Jumping back, I talked about this yesterday, that I wanted to kind of take a look at some of the stuff that's gone on at Knoxville this year. I have not really been including these in my weekly kind of Monday recaps, especially lately with just so much racing going on, but I did want to kind of give an update on what we've seen so far in Knoxville this season, kind of being one of those hubs of sprint car racing across the country. Knoxville had a pair of race nights over the weekend, and I wanted to take a look at not only that, but obviously points and the 360 stuff and take a look at what's going on going forward. They've had 7 shows up to this point, including 3 World of Outlaws nights. On Friday night, it was Brian Brown who won the 410 feature. He led all 20 laps to grab his second Knoxville win of the season. Terry McCarroll was second, and Davey Heskin was third. On Saturday night, it was Justin Henderson who led from green to checkered. He actually ended up drag racing Brian Brown back to the checkered on the final lap to grab his first win of the year. Brian Brown obviously finished second. Jamie Ball finished third. On the season, Brown and Larson have 2 wins each at Knoxville, while Henderson, David Gravel, and Aaron Reitzel each have 1. 1. In the 410 standings, Brian Brown has a sizable lead over a tie for second between Davey Heskin and Matt Jewell. Terry and Austin McCarl round out the top 5. In 360 competition, there have been 4 race nights on the season with Carson McCarl, Jamie Ball, Brian Brown, and Scott Boguski all having 360 wins. Jamie Ball leads the 360 standings over Carson McCarl, Clint Garner, Joe Beaver, and Caleb Johnson. Russ Hall is your Pro Series points leader. This weekend, Knoxville has the Corn Belt Nationals featuring USAC and Power War sprint cars. Friday night's program includes weekly 360s, and then Saturday also includes 410s. Both nights of the Corn Belt Nationals can be watched live on Dirt Vision. Watching Knoxville, it's just really fun each week. You've got Tony Bachhoven on the call. You've got some fantastic competition, with Brian Brown racing there, and the Madsons often showing up, and Davey Heskin and Justin Henderson, and there's all of these guys that are great Midwest racers showing up there. They always have big fields, and it's just a really fun racetrack to get to watch weekly, which has been really great to be able to see that added to the Dirt Vision Fast Pass. If you haven't gotten a chance to check that out, I would certainly recommend that. But I would imagine Knoxville will continue to have great racing going forward, and we'll try to talk about it a little bit more as things progress this season between the 3 sprint car classes, and keep you up to date on who's leading points and who's winning races and things like that. So something I missed last week that I wanted to jump back into, the iRacing World of Outlaws Late Model World Championship continues to roll along. Last week at Lernerville, the 50-lap feature was absolutely dominated by Hayden Cardwell. His margin of victory was nearly 6.5 seconds over Evan C. at the end. Kendall Tucker finished 3rd, Tyler Ducharme 4th, and Devin Morgan was 5th. Last night, the series took on Lima Line Motorsports Park for another 50-lap main event. It was another dominant performance, but this time for Dylan Hauser. He led all 50 laps en route to his first series win of the season. Dylan Wilson was 2nd, Dylan Rafferty was 3rd, Alex Bergeron 4th, and Evan C. finished 5th. Hauser was the 3rd different winner in 3 races this season. Points leader Hayden Cardwell had to transfer into the night's feature through a B main, and he hard-charged his way up from 18th to 6th. Because of his charge, he continues to lead the point standings by 11 markers over Dylan Wilson. Evan C. is another 5 points back in 3rd. The series is back next Monday night live at 9 p.m. Eastern. They'll be at the virtual Eldora Speedway. You can watch free at iRacing.com/live or twitch.com/iRacing. Still a lot of season left here. Only 3 races in the books with 7 remaining. A lot of things will change here in the coming weeks. Hayden Cardwell has been really strong, though. He's definitely going to be one to beat here over the remaining 7 weeks, and somebody you're definitely going to have to deal with if you're going to want to win that championship. But a lot of really strong racers in this series, and you've seen that so far with 3 different winners in 3 nights. So if you haven't checked out the iRacing stuff and are looking for a little racing to watch on Monday nights, you can certainly do that. And again, it's free to watch. There are a few new podcast episodes to check out this week, including Sherry Hodnett on Wing Nation. Kaylee Bryson is on Rip the Fence. Logan Schuhart and Wes Irwin are on the Top Shelf Racing podcast, and the Dirt Nerds have a new episode talking Ohio Sprint Speedweek and more. If you'd like to check those out, you can keep up with all of the various dirt racing podcasts at DIRTRACKR.com/podcast. New episodes post there automatically, so check that out. And then over at SprintCarUnlimited.com, the Ohio Dirt Podcast has had Cole Duncan, Chad Kemenaugh, Wayne County promoter Jason Flory, and a bunch of other people here in recent weeks. You can watch all of those episodes, or listen to all of those episodes free. While Jeremy's podcast, the Sprint Car Unlimited podcast, is part of his membership, and obviously he continues to roll out shows weekly there as well. And again, you can find those all at SprintCarUnlimited.com. Tomorrow on the show, we'll get you ready for Summer Nationals. The series opens up this week with the first race being at Brownstown Speedway, and they continue through the weekend. We'll take a look at the full Summer Nationals schedule and modified national schedule, and then we'll see who might be in line to run the full schedule. There's kind of a big question mark on who could actually end up running that full program with so many other things going on, and the schedules kind of across the series and all some of the bigger events. Everything's kind of getting condensed with having missed out on so much here to start the season. So not quite sure who we're going to see, but we'll certainly talk about that tomorrow and get you kind of up to speed on who to watch for and who some of those names might be that might compete for that full championship. So that tomorrow on the show. That's it for today. You can find Dirt Tracker Daily on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, or where you get podcasts. Please subscribe and leave a review. You can also watch the show every day on YouTube and Facebook. If you subscribe on YouTube, I'm going to pick 1 or 2 people a week to then get a Dirt Tracker decal, so make sure you jump over and do that. If you'd like to email the show, you can do that at info@dirttracker.com. You can follow along at facebook.com/dirttracker, twitter.com/dirttracker, and the website itself, dirttracker.com. And you can follow me personally on Twitter at Justin_Fiedler. Don't forget to sign up for the Dirt Tracker weekly newsletter on the site. Thanks everybody for tuning in. We will see you tomorrow for more Dirt Tracker Daily.